Okay, go live. And Bingo was his name. Oh, hello, everybody. Thank you for coming and welcome to GQUAT Traditions. Thank you. I see Tracy, PIA, Passionately Intrigued Arts, was the first one in. Thank you, everyone, for smashing that like button. And those of you who are here for the replay, thank you for coming and leave a thumbs up if you like the comment content and share it out, those of you who are enjoying it. I see Maria Graham is here, Cheryl Faulkner, Sissy Joanne Stevens. You're all my sisters and brothers, of course, at retirement age. Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Thank you for coming and welcome. I saw you and your gifted peppers this morning. Hello, hello, hello. So I am so intrigued. I drove. Well, I went for it's an hour each way to go to visit my mom on Sundays, and I noticed that the trees on the local parkway that I travel along were starting to blush. And I don't know what kind of a fall we'll have here in my part of New England because we've been getting a lot of rain. And when it rains a lot, it seems like the leaves turn brown, get heavy, and fall off. But we'll see. We'll see. Thank you for coming, everybody. Does anybody have any pumpkins in their yard? I didn't plant any pumpkins this year because the squirrels stole all of mine last year, even though they were the miniature pumpkins. Those little critters stole them, and one of the neighbors whose whose apartment faces the tree that some of them live in said he saw them carrying it up the tree. How rude. How rude is that? You love those earrings? Sissy, did you give me these earrings? I've had them a while. I think I only wore them once. I don't know. Somebody in the family gave me the earrings. Thank you, Maria Graham. I decided to up my game. Oh, what had happened was the earrings that I wear all the time were sterling silver, and they had citrine quartz in them, which is, or I guess citrine is a quartz. I don't know what it is, but it was my birthstone, and I just liked them because they weren't too big. My daughter does not allow me to wear earrings over a certain size. Old ladies shouldn't. They say the bigger the earrings, the bigger the garden instrument. No, Auntie didn't say that. Auntie Joanne said it wasn't her. Some, but they were gifted to me, and thank you. And I see Nikki and everybody wearing T-Nog, Bougie Prepper, all you guys who go live. I see you all dressed up and everything, and Cheryl Faulkner with all that blonde hair hanging down. Every time she turn or walk, it's bouncing and stuff. I said, I have to catch up. I got to tighten up my game. One cannot be last. The last shall be first. So I have so much to tell you that I'm switching it around. I'm going to flip the script because I'm going to do today part of what I was going to do Saturday because I know you guys love fabric and I was going to wait until then. I got a new fabric haul in for a special project. So I had not downloaded the project. It was a special quilt by a rather well known quilter in the quilting circles called Kate Spain. I'm thinking, when your brain gets tired in the evening, I wrote down Kate Spade. I'm like, no, it's not Kate Spade. Kate Spade makes handbags. So what happened? Backtracking to where I started, is that I lost one of my earrings and that I love to wear every day, my everyday earrings. So then I took another pair out And this makes me sick. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. And they were a little pair of earrings. They were good earrings that my daughter gave me years ago, and I didn't wear them. And I know better than to wear like big earrings because with my hair down the way that I'm wearing it now, and a mask and my glasses, it's a lot of stuff back here. And snatching the mask off, guess what? I lost one of my best earrings that I own. But I had several years with them in my life. I'll say at least 10. Maybe they fell off here in the apartment. That has happened before. My helper, when she was vacuuming, would find them or rolled underneath something, or she would turn on the flashlight on her phone and find them. So maybe they'll show up. I'll tell you what doesn't have to show up, and I don't usually talk about this, but I was flipping through the news the other day, and guess what? I didn't get a ticket yesterday, so it's still there. The Powerball is 1 billion with a B. Y'all, y'all. I highly advise you to go get at least a quick pick, write your numbers down, something, and remember the old girl who told you when you win, okay? Hello, Kay Renee's Garden. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't have any what does Kay Renee have on hers? Uh Farmer's Market. But Cheryl has her ticket. Sister friend, sister, don't forget, don't forget, Miss Catherine. Thank you for coming from the nearby state of Massachusetts and my gardening zone 6B. I like knowing who's in my gardening zone so that if I'm being lazy, I get motivated to go out. You're always winning, Mike. I looked on something the other night. Who was winning? Mike, 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 Mike. So in the garden, I guess what I did. So I don't know who gave me. One of my neighbors gave me a bag. I talked about it last week in my live, and I ripped it off. It's called apple chips. Well, the ingredients in here are apples, nothing else. Mike is brewing his coffee. I have to have a good coffee. And this time of year is the only time of year I can get the pumpkin spice creamer, and I put it in my coffee. And one of them was no good. Barb Brownlee says, "Hello, Miss Ellen. Getting hit with one of the cold fronts. Cold at 63? That's not cold. That's summer over here. Pulled many of your herbs yesterday, and today her small Jamaican plant pulled for inside. My Jamaican sorrel didn't grow here, but because of you, I know what to do. I know what to do next year, or I will plant it in Arizona in Auntie Joanne's yard somewhere. I'm already planning the blight I'm going to bring when I get there." Okay, Renee says she's at work and can't speak to everyone. That's okay. Work is good to have. And guess what? I'm going to eat one of these. I usually make apple cider vinegar. I try to save some apples in the fridge because my baby sister, the only thing she wants from me from her birthday, mid December, is one of my apple cakes. And so I try to keep some of the Fuji or Apple Crisp apples to make the cake. But anyway, this is what an apple chip looks like dehydrated. It looks like it was peeled, or maybe not. I usually eat the peels on my apple. I think I'm going to dehydrate some and try some with the peel and without. Mm. Miss Catherine says citrine is her birthstone too. So you're a November baby. This is really good, you guys. And you know what? It's crunchy, it's dry, it's really good. And I ate a half a bag. There must have been more or less half of an apple. Excuse me, I'm trying to chew with my mouth shut and not let the crows fall out laughing. So, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I am going to try to pull up the live so that I can see what you guys are doing in the chat. So there are 10 of you here, and I have 10 thumbs up. That is excellent, excellent, excellent. I know that other people, hi Lashes Journey. I didn't see you before I got on your phone. Thank you for coming. I see you exercising every morning. I'm usually out there sweating and huffing and puffing too, but I don't. She says she's driving and listening. I don't walk with my phone in the hand. I live in the city now, and I'm not letting anybody pass me with me looking down at my phone. And you see bad things happening, people involved in mass things going on, mass destruction, and then it's like nobody saw this guy. Nobody saw this guy walking around. You know what? Half of them are walking around with their phone in their hand out in public and don't see anybody or anything. So, not Auntie Ellen. And not only that, but I have Mr. Hershey in my left hand, should have my cane or something in my right hand, but I usually have something else. And my cane is not for walking anymore. I just use it for balance or your nunchucks or something. Mike says, yes, always be aware. So, did anybody harvest any pumpkins yet in their yard? I'm going to have to get some from the farmers market because I don't have any yet. I want to do a little quiz, as a matter of fact, while we're doing well, before we do that, let me introduce myself for those of you who do not know. And I don't speak about it all of the time, but yes, some of you know that I am part of six living generations. I'm the second oldest in my branch of the family. Mike harvested tomatoes though. And but what some of you don't know about me, and I've been to school, a lot of schools, a lot of classes, a lot of times, and I've had lots and lots and lots of jobs. I have had two and three jobs at the same time, and they weren't even always in the same state. I would work one job, say in New Jersey, doing my consulting, come home, get my dog at the where I was boarding him at the time, go to my house, spend the night, drive to Boston to facilitate to work, come back to my house. I had a house in New Haven at the time, and then go back to my hotel suite in New Jersey. Maria Graham said that she just harvested eggplants, and I would stay at a suite hotel during the week. So I may not have gotten the same suite every week, but they would put my clothes and my suitcases in the closet, and I wouldn't have to haul them all the way home, all the way back. Oh, Lashes has pumpkin. I love pumpkin. She's driving, so she can't say whether she's making soup with it, or pies with it, or cakes with it. You guys, everybody in my family doesn't like pumpkin, but you know what? I sneak pumpkin in uh, other foods. I even snuck some pumpkin in on Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe's banana bread. They didn't know it was in there, and it was a light colored pumpkin, and the skin wasn't on it, so it just made it a yellowy, a yellowy banana bread. They loved it. Mike wants to grow eggplant. So cool, Maria. I love make eggplant. My mom makes used to make the best eggplant from scratch. I told a story about that. So garden GQUAT stands for, as you see in the corner, garden, quilt, and art traditions. How about this? At the end, well, first, let me show you something up there. You will see that I have changed some of the quilts that are on the design wall. Sissy, that's the elephant that I sketched when I was at your house on a staycation in 2018. You guys, that year I went to Arizona in May for my sister's birthday, and which is May 16th, and I stayed until September 1st so that I could be back in Connecticut for my mom's birthday. So I take staycations. But what I wanted to show you up there is this big bowl, the stainless steel bowl that I told you guys about. I don't know if you have one this big, but here's the magic question. And the first one who comes up with an answer, and anybody can answer, this is a small giveaway, and I will give you one of my handmade postcards. So, David Corey with Crop. Everybody's going to come out the woodwork. Thank you for coming, sir, and welcome. Welcome, everybody. So, here is the magic question. And David speaking to everyone. This bowl up here is so, it doesn't show how massive it really is. The only other place it fits is under my storage sofa. Barb Brownlee has been making Tunisian crochet dishcloths. I love those too. I love those too. David is speaking to everyone. He's the watermelon king, he claims. He claims. Okay, so would somebody put start in the comments? Push start. And here is the giveaway question. It's early in the giveaway, but I just feel like it. And whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. Okay, Maria Graham, push start. So this bowl is so big, it holds 40 quarts. It holds 40 quarts. The first question is, how many quarts are in a gallon? Actually, I will give away handmade two handmade cards, and let me write it down. Two handmade cards. So everybody who's joining, okay. The first one, oh, so Terry, thank you for coming. That seems like a new name. Thank you for coming. How does Mike? He must have a fast computer. He talks about what he doesn't have. So, Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick, thank you for coming. So, does everybody agree that winning Mike is the first one to put a 4 in that says there are 4 quarts in a gallon? Can everybody okay, stop. So put stop for this one. There are 4 quarts in a gallon. So you don't catch the live, so Terry? Thank you. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you did. And welcome everybody. So Mike was first with 4 quarts. Okay, so I will be giving away two handmade postcards because Nikki asked about this. would this bowl be big enough to make potato salad? And I was watching the replay and I said, yes, it's big enough to make potato salad for a bunch of folk. Maybe a small church or something. You've been canning, is how you know, Mike, or you have to measure. Okay. So if this is a four, oh, put start in the, and you can't win twice, Mike. Can't win twice. So you might want to put some clear gloss on your nails that you've been digging in the garden and picking. So if this bowl, push start, somebody, okay, there's start. If this bowl holds 40 quarts, how many gallons is that? How many gallons is in a 40-quart bowl? First one with the correct answer. I gave the wrong answer off the top of my head. Cheryl Faulkner. Looks like she's first. It looks like Cheryl. Okay, stop, you guys. Cheryl Faulkner. So Terry, Maria Graham, Mike. Yes. Can you imagine this bowl holds 10 Lashes Journeys chipping in? You guys know your math. I'm proud of you. Proud of you. That is a big bowl. And I was texting with Unbiased LLC because she did a great live on Tuesday, and she did a an art collab with a canvas and fabric, and it was just gorgeous, just gorgeous. And I was telling her that when I was at Auntie Joanne's house, I started an elephant, which is slightly different. It's going to be an art quilt. I don't know. You can actually see it better on the camera. This is just a hand drawn elephant. The purple is his shoulder shaded in. And there are little, hey, pescatarian gardener, thank you for coming and welcome everyone. And this one has I can't get my arm up, a dragonfly on it. Mike, one of those frogs from the Ugly Fabric is on here. And this, I'm going to thread paint him. So this will be grass that's thread painted in. And up there are the purple that I was going to, I guess, stick the flowers or some shading in here. I don't know what. I have to look back at my old pictures. You have to pass your awesome postcard to someone who doesn't have one. Okay, so let me see the postcard. Mike did get one of my postcards, and it was made out of a special dress, the same one that the apron was upcycled denim, and it's really, really special. One of my friends gave me this dress because she bought it for her mom, and her mom passed away before she gave it to her. I used to work with her, and she was a member of a big nationwide sorority, and we worked together, and she gave me this dress. So every little piece of this dress, I kept a part of it. Hello, the jewelry spot. I've been watching your jewelries, especially since I lost my good earring. Sniff, sniff, sniff. So Mike has to help me since I'm touching the screen again. I keep forgetting this MacBook, you can't touch it. But anyway, you can see the outline of my elephant. I have a couple of big things coming up. I'm actually getting, yes, jewelry, David. I'm actually getting ready for Black History Month, which is February next year. And I have several small art pieces that are started that I need to get just finished. I love picking the colors. I like auditioning them. I'm just holding this up so the top of my head. Okay. Okay, let me backtrack a minute because let me get these postcards right. So Mike got the first one, and he is gifting his to The second place person, okay, Mike said 4. And then I think so Terry said 4. Does everybody agree Mike has not received one of the handmade postcards? Okay. Well, pescatarian gardener, we just had a little quiz and they won. But I have a challenge out to anyone is fabric postcard 2023 to anyone who makes a handmade postcard. It could be fabric or it could be paper. Some of you are crafters, paper crafters. Anybody that sends me a postcard will, and on my, what do you call it, on my about me page, it has my PO box. If you send me a postcard, I will send you a handmade postcard. Okay, so Terry, you will be the first one to get one, and I have a banner, and it has my Gmail address and my Cash App if someone would like to donate to the channel to help get. I survive on my retirement. I do. Hey Duval, she's been listening. Thank you for coming. And everyone I haven't spoken to, Bayou Sugar. My sister will tell you I used to have a store in the country on my near my off-grid property. Oh, pescatarian gardener! I can't wait to get a new card. So Terry was second, and and so who is the first person that said 10 quarts? I need you guys to help me go up in the chat. Cheryl. Oh yeah, Cheryl Faulkner. Cheryl Faulkner will get a postcard. I love making those, you guys. And I have kits that I started where I have all the tops made. I have a couple, the when I say the tops, I call the part that I make, that I create, a. Cheryl was second. Okay. Auntie, pay it forward. Okay, so Maria Graham says Cheryl Faulkner was second on the answer 10. Okay, so on mine, on my phone, ah, my arm hurts, my rotator cuff. I will put it down so that you guys can see. On my phone, after it says start, let me go up. Okay. I have to get that new thing. So there are 8 in the chat, 18. So I'm going back, you guys, because I want to be fair. So, Terry, they are so cool. So, Terry, you had surgery on your shoulder. They want me to do that, but I am absolutely confirmed to have surgery in February for my to have my whole left knee replaced. I had my right knee and replaced and some more stuff, and that one is a rough one. So I'm waiting until February so I can stay in the house. You keep okay. So now Maria Graham says that we have to go back and see who gets the postcards. So okay, I hate when this happens, but we're gonna go back. And postcards, Pescatarian is going to trade one. Let's see, Mike brewed his coffee. Okay, so I'm going down, going down. Okay, Maria Grant, you said Cheryl Faulkner was second. So if on your phone, Cheryl Faulkner was second, who was first? Thank you. Thanks for the prayers, everybody. Cheryl was second. Auntie, please pay for. Okay, Terry is out. So who was after Terry? Sorry, you guys. I'm going up, 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 looking for these numbers on my phone. Mike's passing his to somebody who doesn't have one. Nikki says she sucks at math. Okay, David Corey with crop says 11. He's being funny. He knows it's not. Okay, so after it says start on my phone, Nikki, everybody push start. And just so that you see, after everybody put start, everybody's push start, I show that because we want to get on to the good part. Cheryl Faulkner was the next one. So, Cheryl Faulkner, you're definitely getting one. And then, just 1 second, you guys. Cheryl Faulkner. So, Terry is giving hers up. Mike doesn't want one. So, Lash's Journey was the next one that I show that has the right answer, which was a 10. Oh, so do what's the most urgent for you. Yes, so Terry. So what I'm going to do is get my left knee connected to my thigh bone again. And then for my shoulder, I'll just keep using my right arm to lift and do things as best I can. And after that, I'm going to do rehab. I see other people when I was working on my knee last year, and I was wondering why they had their shoulder, on the bike that you do with your hand and the other stuff. So Lash's Journey, you at the end of the bottom of last. Mike was first, and Cheryl was two. Mike gave his up, and Cheryl was two, and then Lashes. So Lashes and Cheryl will be getting one. Please email me at ellenpanky@gmail.com. Lashes and Cheryl Faulkner. Now let's get on to what I wanted to talk to you about. That just popped in. See how the devil's always busy and takes over. You hurt your shoulder after being on crutches for knee surgery. Get the knee done first. Exactly. Exactly. And then I get pushed. And guess what, you guys? I already have like two walkers out in my garden. It's kind of funny because as soon as I was able, I threw them to the left, all of those walkers in the garden to my left. And I was going to use them for my pumpkins. The Barb Brownlee says, congrats to the winners. Well, the pumpkins are what the walkers are what I have my little miniature pumpkins growing on. They got stolen. They got stolen and stolen right underneath my very eyes. So let me see if I click on that to stop it. Banners. Okay, we'll hide that so that you guys have my email address, and Cheryl Faulkner and Lashes will be getting it. So now there are two walkers out in the garden because why? I had a third one. And I don't know what happened. You get your insurance is supposed to pay for it, then they trick you into paying for stuff out of pocket because you don't want to fall down getting in the medical Uber getting home. Whatever. So then I wanted one because I live in a high rise building. I wanted the rollator one when I was stable enough. So I have the one on wheels so that I could use the seat. Why? To get something to eat? No, to push it back. I live in a certified handicap apartment. To push my plate back so that I could watch you guys on TV? No, so I could push my sewing machine around and switch them out. Oh, what? Are they enough to steal? That is too funny. That is too funny. Okay, so let's go on with the program that I have for today. We talk about the apple chips. I keep a a little outline of things I want to talk to you about because I have something so exciting. We talked about the dehydrating and or freeze drying of the apples. You can do pumpkins as well, but I think powdered pumpkin, unless you were going to use it for pumpkin spice mix or bread or something, I can't imagine. I went. You are look so pretty. I don't know who David's talking to, but if he's talking to me, thank you. I found this top, you guys, in my closet. I didn't see it back there all because it's long to the floor, and I don't open my closet all the way. It has like the accordion doors, and all of my long dresses in that closet are to the left of the half that I usually use. And I saw this back there and it was so thin. I didn't know it was back there. And I like purple. Then I said, I will get the purple earrings out. So thank you, David. David. So moving right along, I don't know if you guys noticed because my hair was coming apart. I now have my twists are locked. So my hair is locked for good, you guys. For those of you who don't know, in the bushes, when you lock your hair, there are different types of locks. I've been to Lock University, and my hair is actually longer than it looks because it's twisted, and it I don't know, they use some type of a tool and they do something and something, but I didn't wait long enough before I'm spritzing it. Then I got it soaking wet before the curls set in. So it is what it is. But I was getting my hair twisted on Sunday, and my great grandson wasn't there to entertain me, and I'm tenderheaded. So I got a slight headache. And then the at the end, the client who was coming in after me to get her hair done said that she has children who can't swallow. I had a headache and I was going to get hair shrinkage. Yes, exactly. Shrinkage exists in lots of places in the world, rooted in essential oils. Thank you for coming and welcome. I don't remember seeing you in the live, so welcome, everybody. I want to thank each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you who are in the bushes, you count to my watch time. I especially appreciate the moderators who help keep me straight when I can't see what number came up first. And I'm going to get some help into putting that spinner thing in, but the spinner thing couldn't come up with the right answer. I don't think in the last type of questionnaire that I gave. Rooted in Essential Oils says you're new to the channel. Well, thank you for coming. I use a lot of essential oils. And as a matter of fact, I use essential oils in the summer on my skin, patchouli, because it's supposed to deter help deter mosquitoes and stuff. The mosquitoes go right around there and bite. Hey, Sassy, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I didn't know what those little things you were carving out on your laser printer, but guess what? I found out they were earrings. I am going to have to get a pair. I'm trying to figure out what to put on them, but they need to be lightweight because, again, I'm tender-headed, tender. So I will be looking into that. So going back to appreciating each and every one of you, and I didn't mention the members in the Friends and Family Club. To join the Friends and Family Club, it's $1.99 a month, and that will help me get equipment. I live on my fixed income retirement. I'm able to help others, share food with my neighbors in the building and whatnot. But as far as equipment, I just hate taking out the budget to buy a tripod. I'm always tripping over stuff. And that's another reason I don't film when I'm walking because I don't have the gizmo that goes up and down. and you can see me, especially when I get the knee operated, when I'm it looks like I'm hobbling left to right, left to right. When I'm cooking, I love to trip over the tripod when I'm going from point A to point B. But I already bought another camera. It's on the layaway system, and to pay for it, and I will get that hooked up soon, just looking to see how to do it. There used to be a thing that popped up because I'm talking to you on my Mac. It gives wonderful clarity. I don't get any echo when I'm talking. The vision is clear and I get a really good reception. But I would like to have two or three cameras up so that you can see all the little things I'm doing and my hands don't block the space. So at this point, we usually talk about books and things like that. And I would, oh, and by the way, the names that appear in green on the screen are those who are channel members, and the names that appear in blue in the chat on YouTube, those are the moderators. This is a book that I took out of the bookcase. I've been reading it forever, and it doesn't make a lick of sense. I could actually read this book in one night. But what happens when I do take my nap and wake up? Watching you all, watching you all. Look how this book is double spaced. It's big, big writing, and it's a story about a woman. The Alice Walker is the one who wrote The Color Purple. We Most of us have heard of that book, and this is actually a memoir. A memoir is a story about somebody's life. So she's telling her life about her life story through chickens because she had chickens when she was a little girl, when she grew up. Charming Tracy Robyn, thank you for coming. I come in when you're at church and say hello and talk to you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I've been on all of your channels, rooted in essential oils. And then with all the shorts, I always push the thumbs up. I don't always get back to finding the channels and getting a comment in, but I always leave something in there. And I the shorts are so short. Of course I listen to the end of them. So this is the Chicken Chronicles I was telling you about, David Corey with Crop. And this is about, she talks about when some of her chickens die or something happens to them and gets them, and she talks about losing people in your life. It's really touching. It's really touching. It's a good read. It's a good read. Those of you who haven't read it, you can read it online. You can get it from the library. You can, this is my copy because why? I collect books, and these are some of my favorite books. I want to show you guys something without getting up because I want to show you this corner. You know, when I get, when I don't know, what did I just do? Oh, I know what I did. When I turn the computer around, there's always been a blank space above my dad's wood burning. This wood burning is not one of my pieces of art. It's by a friend of the family named Jabril. He is an African artist, and that is a copy of, well, my mom got the original. It's a commission piece. My mom got the original. Then there were a limited amounts of prints made. And since I'm the oldest, we started it's a numbered original. So this is number one of the prints. And so he takes wood burning. They call it pyography, Pyre. That's the science of burning. And what I wanted to show you is that I finally had maintenance put a what do you call it, a curtain rod up so that I can, that's the only place I have in this apartment stead to show some of my small quilts, some of my small quilts, and I can switch it out. But going back to the pyrography, that's all wood burn with a tiny, tiny wood burning needle. Auntie Joanne actually has one of those. And Auntie Joanne is an artist. I don't know why she won't let me talk about it or do anything. Nikki said display. It's not a display. This is just my apartment. It's my apartment. I don't know what route it is, Sassy, but if if those of you who wanted to downsize and get a tiny house, I was looking into tiny houses. I almost bought a condo in Arizona near Auntie Joanne. Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe offered me a wing of the house. Miss Mignon looks fabulous in that corner. Well, that big white space around there is because she's actually kind of small for that space, but I wanted to be able to show bigger wall hangings. And Mike says, your family's talented. Mike, if we didn't have something to do, my mother would give us chores. And they taught us a lot of crafts growing up, both of my grandmothers. And I misspoke about that. I said one of my grandmothers sewed, but my other grandmother, the one that lived in North Carolina, always quilted, and she quilted by hand. I have no idea if what a small quilt was also a pillowcase. Would that work? Yes, yes. Darth X, when I get over to my workstation, I've got 4 pillowcases started. Why? Because I had the fabric out. While the fabric was out, I made my mom some pillowcases to take to the nursing home where she is right now. And my daughter, who never asks for anything, always tells me not to give her anything, like them. So I cut out 2 pillowcases for her to give for Christmas. Don't worry, she's not going to see this. She works too much. Her and my son work too much. That's why I can be bad on my live and cut up with you all, because they ain't got time. They're busy trying to to do what they do, and they help their mother, and well, they do what they do. That's what I'll say. So that is where Miss Mignon is, and that's where this elephant that I started in Arizona and will get finished will be. This hut with the, for those of you who are new, this is handmade fabric down here, not handmade by me. And I'm putting my good arm up there. These are actually glass beads. These are glass beads. Some of this is some really rare fabric from South Africa, and it's called Shwashwar, SHWE. And it's like the government used to license places to make it. Well, I was going to talk about one more book, but this will be really brief. I bought it before I started vlogging with the intention of vlogging. The reason I'm bringing it up is because you can get it, and the same things that apply to blogging apply to vlogging, except that you have to do screen search engine optimization. It's called SEO. That's what the hashtags are. That's what the hashtags are to get people to come to your channel. I don't do a lot of that because I'm not trying to grow a big channel. I already had a job. I already retired. This is it. And that's what I was saying about retirement. And then I decided not to trash Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe's house or anywhere else. If you could live, if you could have a place to work in the studio as an artist, or a tiny house, say 400 square feet, double the tiny house to 800 square feet, and that's what this apartment is. I have one area that's dedicated to art, but guess what? I don't even work in there. I have another little table outside of there, and that's where I do my creating. So, that being said, I want to show you what I've gotten done this week. So, oh, well, first thing, because it will be gone by Saturday, remember this feed sack? For those of you who don't know what a real feed sack is, it's a type of a bag. It's kind of elongated, and you put it over a horse's head. It's not this big. It's not this big. And you put it over the horse's head, and he sticks his head down in it, and he can eat the food out of it. This one I did live. It has a huge pocket. I finished it by, you guys didn't see this part. I You saw me sew this my label on and the back, and the inside has a very nice, very stable bottom, and the bottom is made out of needlepoint plastic with cotton batting and just a plain tea-dyed muslin bottom. What I like about this is, and I will show you later, and I told, who did I tell? I told Bias, Bias, Unbiased LLC. This is what like a bolt of fabric comes out when you buy a lot of fabric. I was going to show you differently, and I'm going to show you the new fabric haul that I got. But what I want to show you is that this bag, this one has short handles for putting heavy stuff in, and the way my shoulder is. But you see this whole bolt of fabric? For those of you passionately intrigued arts, Tracy, those of you who sew, you want to go to Joann's, you want to buy the end of the bolt. When I buy the end of the bolt, or 3 to 5 yards, I ask them for the cardboard that it's on so that I can stand it up and it doesn't wrinkle. I keep my I'm OCD-ish like Nikki, and once I iron my fabric, I don't get wrinkles in it. I may not iron my clothes, but I iron my fabric. Check this out. This bag will hold all my several pieces with the fabric in it. You can put your cell phone, other stuff in here, and it has a tie so that it will still hold it closed. I'm not going to tie it all the way. And these bags can be made. Hudson, growing with Hudson, I know that you're working and you will see the replay. This will hold all of this. And it's not a wide bag. If you're at the farmer's market and whatever, you know, the big bags at the grocery store, I love this. And this, you guys, is my personal design. It's a derivative. The pescatarian gardener said she hates ironing. Once I iron it, everything is in little totes, little plastic bags. It doesn't get re-wrinkled. And I worked on a quilt one summer with my mom, and it had 2,500 pieces in it. 2,500. And they were 2.5-inch blocks. Well, they were all ironed, and I taught my mother. My mother's so fancy. I took her dinner on Sunday. I made the shrimp creole I told you guys I was going to do. And the first thing she does is take, and she's still at the nursing home right now, and she reaches up on her tray and she takes the cloth napkin off and she puts it on her lap. She's so dainty. She taught us manners. Auntie Joanne probably remembers hers. I I do what I do. Sometimes I remember mine. I know them. I don't always do what I'm supposed to do. But anyway, this bag, when I was sewing it, somebody asked for it. I was going to keep it for myself, which is why I didn't make the full size, the full size hoboing bag. Pause. The full size hoboing bag, and because I like this little size. And if you are hoboing, nobody knows your business. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But to show you, Charming Tracy Robinson, she's in the background on the road. So I just want to show you, because I'm starting this big project with this fabric haul. I want you to know that I did finish the journals. David elbows off the table. You teach his manners. David knows. David knows a lot. David just fools you all. The other three journals that we'll cut out, and it's made out of the same batch of fabric, Our Treasured Home. Please send me an email because I have an idea. And yes, you lost one of your earrings. I did. Oh, again, I lost one today. I'm famous for losing earrings. Well, this one we know is in the house. That's okay. That's okay. PP Longstockings, you can't take me anywhere. David Corey, no, come on. No, he just stops worrying. David Corey says 1,000 times he's laughing at Nightbot. You guys who are new, something really funny happened. I don't know who programs Nightbot and Siri, but they have some serious issues. David Corey was doing something last week, and Nightbot called him bruh. Said, hey, bruh. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. But I just wanted to show you that all of these are authentic African mud cloth journals with a really nice writing pen inside. This is actually the page holder that goes with them. That goes with them. And it goes actually in the inside, but each journal cover with the journal is slightly different. This one looks like that's where it is. And if the people that buy them, I put their initials. I put their initials in there. That's why the pen is where it is. I try to save a space to customize them and put the initials on. So these are ready. And yes, I sell them. But guess what? I also barter. I barter. If you have something that you make that's worth the same price of something that I make, we can trade. We can trade. Cheryl, have a good, I mean, Maria Graham, have a nice dinner going out. Well, tell Mike I said hello and thank you. Thank you for coming. So I have these three journals and Our Treasured Home. Give me a buzz because you, excuse me, you emailed me last week and I don't know what I did. I couldn't find the email and what is this thing? StreamYard doesn't save them unless you're a paid member. Ain't nobody got money for that. I said I'm on a fixed income, Siri, Nightbot, and everybody. And thank you for telling me that I lost another earring, Maria Graham. So we talked about Miss Mignon. We talked about everything. And now the exciting thing, the fabric haul. So you guys, I am entered into an international Christmas quilt challenge, and it's through my online Facebook group, Quilt Africa Fabrics. And you don't have to pay for the pattern. You can join the Kate Spain because of all her fabrics, and she's an Anglo quilter. She wanted to see what her pattern would look like in African fabrics. So, do I need to buy African fabrics? No. Do I need to buy any fabrics? No. I like it. I want to. So, because she was selling a packet of the fabrics that they use in Africa where she lives. When I say she, now I'm speaking of the woman who runs Quilt Africa Fabrics. So I bought 16 fat quarters. What is a fat quarter? For those of you who do not sew, a yard, we go some more math. Quilting is actually all geometry. It's all geometry. And thank you, Sissy. I saw your comment about my hair. Thank you, your niece. She got my ends together and twisted it for me. because I can't get my arm up. I can't do stuff. Wah, 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 whining. So I got the this packet of fabrics and a yard, a U.S. yard for those who use yard measurements. That's 36 inches. So a fourth of a yard is how much? I'll do the math real quick. It's nine. Nine times four is 36. But you go to the fabric stores and they always cut both ends crooked, and you end up with about 7 inches of fabric, or eight, maybe if you're lucky, by the time you straighten it out. So there's another way, and you don't get to get big pieces, chunks. Like if I wanted to make something up here, so there's something called a fat quarter. And what a fat quarter is a yard of fabric, the 36 inches. They cut it in half, so you get a half yard. Then they take that half yard and cut that in half, and this is what is called a fat quarter. And in American fabrics, it's 18 by 22 inches. But other European fabric, oh, and this fabric is very, very thick. Hola, hermana. In the car again with the little ones. Oh, or one little one. Oh, I'm reaching with my bad arm. Guess what? This bag is Yankee Sister's pickup bag whenever she gets over to here. It's going to rain all weekend, so I don't know if she'll want to, if she wants her fabrics to get wet. But there it is. Sis, you have to let me know ahead of time, so I'll put it in our special place. And this is 1 yard of the fabrics for the Christmas quilt. What is really interesting is that the fabrics chosen, and as you see on the side, each one of them is printed. It came directly from Africa. Pick up bag. Oh, she says pick up the bag. She knows she got goodies in it. She knows. The kids know too. The kids can't wait to help her go through it. So this is what a fat quarter is. So from this lady, I bought 16 fat quarters. And when they arrived, Nikki's OCD-ish new mom, well, when the fabrics arrived, they were all mixed up, all different colors. So me, when I auditioned them, whenever I get fabrics, especially pre-packaged, and I fold all of my fabrics. Your hobo bag, yes, you can do all the hoboing you want to, hermana, all of it, and nobody will know. It's so pretty. And guess what? Your bag, when I went back through it, already had the straps pre-cut and already had the big pocket pre-cut. I don't know if you were looking when I showed the feed sack bag, but yours is bigger. Yours is a full size hoboing bag. And it's that purple that you wanted, and that Lorraine T wanted. So I will show you guys each one of these fabrics. Who wants to see the fabrics? Put a one in the fabric. All these African fabrics for this African Christmas quilt. And they celebrate, the lady went through, it's like a history lesson. She talks about their independence. She's in Nigeria, I believe. And she talks about, oh, they want to see everybody wants to see. Okay, that's why I switched up from Saturday, because by Saturday we're I will have cut these. We're having a Zoom meeting tomorrow, and the fabrics will be cut. I added some of mine to them. I just wanted to see what they had in the package, so I paid for them. So let's do the reds. First, I separated the reds, and I'll show you individually, but this is what I do when I get fabrics. Nick, my OCD-ishness. I knew there were 5 of them, so I made like a color palette. So you see what they are. Some of them are strange. I'll show you up close. And they're already ironed. Diversity Love, thank you for coming and welcome. And I know you have that little machine you talked about, and you can make postcards with it, and you can make little things. You can make little things. Oh, guess what, you guys? This is a secret. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. I have come into contact. I have a new friend who works part-time at Joann Fabrics. Oh. I'm going to have a conservator appointed for the estate that I don't have to keep me from spending all my pension money on fabric and saying I have no money for butter. Saturday, I will read you my favorite poem. It's a poem by Jenny Joseph, and it's called Old Woman. And it says, when I am an old woman, I shall wear purple and, do a bunch of stuff and spend my pension money on butter and things that don't match and wear purple. It's really, really funny. Auntie Joanne bought me the book years ago. So here is, I'll just show you. Oh, and half of a fat quarter is called a fat eighth. Why? Because you can get a pretty big block out of here. I'm opening this so that you can see the different patterns in here. Okay, that's one. And these are straight off the press from Africa. So that's red. That's like if I had seed store friend. Exactly. Exactly, Mike. I ordered these back in August. Back in August. So they just got here. They just got over here. And I picked them up on Sunday. I like these because the leaves actually look like hearts, don't they? Some of you guys know that three purple hearts is part of my signature from when I had vision issues and I would be in the chat and you guys, I couldn't tell if I had answered a question or where I was. People would say, Auntie Ellen, you already spoke. I'm going down the chat trying to speak to people. So when I put the three purple hearts in, I could find it. But now a lot of people use purple hearts. I'll be talking to everybody. So here is another piece of the red. So just this morning, I downloaded the pattern for the Christmas quilt, and lo and behold, for those of you who have been following me, you know that one of my favorite blocks to teach is a half square triangle. This whole quilt is half square triangles, and it's so simple. And I have done so many half square triangles that I didn't even print it out. I just made a sketch, which is probably on the floor with my earring or whatever. I start throwing fabric around and getting stuff, you guys. But I'll show you to you. It's just a sketch, and this woman has a different way of putting the half square triangles together. I have made so many quilts over the years with half square triangles, and some of the pieces in the triangle point to the left, some to the right. I've got this. Mike will have his own online scene company shop. I know that's right. So then those are the reds that came in the pack of 16. Then here are the sort of whites. I never put white in a quilt unless it's like a military quilt, like Quilts of Valor. Hello, Darth X. If I didn't say hello to everybody in the chat that I didn't speak to. What I like is that this one is kind of a brighter white, but next to a piece of paper, it really isn't. You see, it's not. And because white gets dirty so fast, you have to part with seeds to sell them. That's like me and my fabric. The pretty fabrics, I hate to cut them up. And when I do cut them up, I don't cut them into patterns where you cut where you can't see it. I make bigger block quilts so that I don't have to cut my babies up. Cut my babies up. Lizzie Borden had an axe, gave her fabric 40 whacks, and when she was through, she gave the other 42. So there's this one. I'm probably going to use that to separate something or not, or not. So the next colorway in this quilt was green. We're used to red and green fabrics in our quilts, right? Or for Christmas, let's say. So here, let me fan these out so that you see. Would I have purchased any of these greens? Probably not. That's why I like gardening. That's why I like being in groups from other countries, other ethnicities, other everything, because I get exposed to things I would not ordinarily do. I grow veggies, things I would not, and fruits that I wouldn't ordinarily grow because you guys sent me seeds or you suggested it. It's the same thing with quilting. So these are the fabrics that they chose. And this one is really, I didn't really know which one, except I figured they were in even numbers. So I put this one with the greens. With the greens. Some of the traditional fabrics were so different than the modern day fabrics. A lot of the modern day fabrics are more colorful and they have geometric prints, they have flowers, because the young people in these countries don't want to wear all brown and green and dark colors that they traditionally dyed with the mud from the actual ground, like the mud cloth was originally dyed with mud or fruits or berries or things that they could grow. They're trying to show that they have the means to do whatever they want. This one kind of looks like a tree. I love that. You might not even know that these are African fabrics except by the weight of the fabric. It's much heavier than the weight of the cottons. And by the way, I generally, unless it's an art quilt, I quilt with 100% cotton, whereas my grandmother used whatever she had in her quilts, old dresses, old clothes, everything. You love that too, Nikki? So this is what they had with the greens. And then in the package, they were like, okay, they sent blue fabrics. I'm like, blue? Blue for Christmas? I know here in my building, I call it Christmahana Kwanzaa because we celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Hanukkah. We celebrate Kwanzaa. Dobre Utra, Dobre Ranuk. You know, there's so many languages that we celebrate everything, everything. So I will fan these out so that you can see them because these are all going in a quilt. And you know what's interesting? You can tell that two different people folded these fat quarters. When I fold my fabrics, when I get to fat quarters, I used to never buy fat quarters. I only bought yardage or the whole bolt. But baby, as Mona says, when you retire and live on a fixed budget, you have to make it do what it do. And so here are the blue fabrics. And Hanukkah is blue and white, not this color blue. And at first I said, I'm not putting this in the quilt because this is not a Christmas quilt. But guess what? This is an international Christmas quilt, and these are the colors that they use and sent. So I am going to use them. But so then I'm like, well, these are busy. My mind is so busy. I have to have some solid colors in there. And I always mix my own stuff. I always do my own dance. I am not doing anybody else's pole dance. Auntie Ellen's going to do her own. So I was going through a couple of my scraps and I found some of these greens and yellows that were pre, and you see they were already in a piece of plastic because they're ironed and they're already cut. But it looks like it's it's plain red, but it's not. It just doesn't have a dark print. Look at this one up close. The jewelry spot said those are beautiful. I I've been rolling paper beads, not enough to make anything, and I have N things. I'm going to make some jewelry, the jewelry spot, and so and this is like a batik up close. You can see the different variations. So like that blue one I just had some yellow in it. So when I come to the borders, I like to do something called piano keys. There are no piano keys. Oh, there are no piano keys on Miss Mignon, but if I can show you around, Miss Mignon is the quilt at the top, and she's an art quilt, and it was one of my sketches that I made into a quilt. But those purple triangles on the side, they're all different fabrics and different colors of purple. And I will do something similar, except I will have lots of different fabrics, and these are already cut pretty much 2.5 inches that I would make them with, except guess what? These piano keys are not going to be the same because a piano has what? It has black keys, it has white keys. They are not the same. Auntie Ellen is not the same. This one is different. They're not all square, not all round. So the other some of my fabrics that I took out, I was looking at an old live, and when I saw the fabrics that they sent me, I said, wait a minute. And I saw these batiks that I had out when I was showing you guys. And what are my fabrics on? For those of you who are new, there's something called comic boards. They're white, they're acid free. I either fold mine or cut them in half for small pieces of fabric, and I wrap them around this cardboard so that they don't wrinkle. I love blue. I love indigo. I have like some sets of smaller pieces of indigo and blues. So I saw these blues, and when these are next to each other, you can see the slight gradation. And these are watermark batiks from Indonesia. Why do I like them? Because they're heavier weight, like the African fabrics, and they're washed and washed and washed so that they're already pre-tightened. And then I had this that was already pre-cut in the blues, and I'll probably take some of these out of here, not all of them. I saw this one. I love this batik. Then there's another one like this one in the back. Then there's a crazy bright green. So I might mix some of these with the African fabrics. This one, maybe, maybe not. But these I really saved. Thank you, Nikki. She says so many gorgeous fabrics and prints. These are actually like 10-inch blocks that I pre-cut out to use for something else. And I just love fabrics. I don't know what I love more, fabrics or seeds. Probably in Connecticut, fabrics more because I can touch them. I can put them in my bed. They're on my bed. I can do everything with them. And then this little one in the back, they will all mix and match. And guess what? It's mine. And they encourage you to use your own fabrics. So I bought the fabrics from a pre-selected kit. That blue is such a common color. It is. It is. And these were just some of the blues I had of my own. And then maybe a small border or something going around when you start putting strips of borders, you put a different color that's not already in the base of the quilt. This is like just a type of example. This quilt at the top of the elephant, yes, it has green on the bottom, and it has, these are actually going to be leaves of grass. But look at this. This green is a totally different green. I could make black. I actually, hey, Garden State Gardener. Hey, Joe, how are you doing? Thank you for coming and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks, all of you who have come in. And Joe likes crafting and things too, the Garden State Gardener. So, this is a batik that I could use with, say, the one up there. And I accidentally bought Joann's has a fabric, has a 60% sale. But of course you can't find the stuff that you want if it's already marked down. But they had a 20% off the total package. So I accidentally bought some of that Kona black that I love, 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 and use a lot of. So Yankee Sister knows I accidentally bought some of that. I saw your pepper video today, Mike. Mike always has good pepper videos. So with my fabrics that I'm going to add with the African fabrics for the Christmas quilt, I had this watermark batik, this one, and this is another batik. Even though it was on the card, it got a little wrinkled. Oh, and one of the other things about the card that I love is that it fits the size of a book, which is what, eight, not, no, how much is a page? 8.5 by 11. So this card is 8.5 by usually like 10 or 11. And each one of these will fit, if I wanted to, in a bookcase. I used to have some of these. Avir Damali, thank you for coming and welcome, 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 moderators. Avir Damali, thank you. That's a new name, and thank you for coming. So that's one green. Then sometimes I like, because some of the fabrics are dark, I like to have one that's a darker. Susan Gearhart, Willie Two Guns died. Can you say a prayer? Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Susan, for your cousin. Okay, so here's a charcoal covered color rather, and it will go in with the black, just maybe to set off where the quilt is. I think I'm only going to make a half a quilt. The directions call for a quilt 64 by 80. I don't need any more quilts. I don't need any more quilts. And a half of 72 is what? It's 36. Half of 80 is 40. When you're quilting, you're always doing math in your head. I'm doing it in my head. When I cut strips, I cut backwards on the cutting board. Like if I'm cutting 2.5-inch strips and I'm manually doing it, I start at 36 and I go back all the way down. Especially like my 18-inch when I'm doing smaller pieces, you know, or you can do like 20 inches and then go to 15 and 5 and then cut the 2.5 out of that. Go back to Africa, Biscuit 89. You know what? Somebody do something with Biscuit 89. Bye, Felicia. Free Max B. Okay. We can somebody block them and send them where they need to go, and you go back to Africa. I'm from the United States. In fact, I was here when everybody else got here. Don't get me started. Hit Brock. Somebody, well, I guess it is time to end this live stream because, it's out of control. So, and we have gone over time. Peace, love, and blessings. Ego amote. I love you all. I love you all. And the moderators have their hands full. And if you look, they spelled a word on the side that needs to be deleted, deleted, deleted. So you guys, we're not leaving. It's actually 5:24, time to go. And next time I will restrict the messages to people who are members. Unbiased. Thanks for the live, Queen. Thank you. Oh, I'll give you one while you're here. That was the elephant I was telling you about on the that I hand drew. And you see him, his tusk, and you can see where his eye is going to be. And we had a good time, and no idiot is going to come in here and block us. We won. She's leaving. Selena Gomez. Okay, whether they go or when they stay, they don't want this. They don't want this. I bring it every day. I got you, Miss Ellen. Thanks, everybody. I know you guys have my back. I am not even worried. So I'm so excited, and I bring it every day. Those of you who sew, I invite you, and I will tag her at the end of this video and Quilt Africa Fabrics. And there is a challenge going on, and I will be doing it and making videos because they're half square triangles, and I already have a bunch. WLN, it means auntie's popular. Exactly. Exactly. So they're spelling words to say things that are disrespectful, and the same thing today, mamas. All right? The same thing today, mamas. So that's why how we'll end it. And even you jackasses, as my uncle used to say, you know what you can do for me. And you can look at Unbiased Quilt, LLC, and look at our quilt and the elephants behind and pucker up. Thank you very much. And pucker up. Passionately intrigued arts. I'm not going to let them take me off my square. Peace, love, and blessings. I love you. I will see you Saturday. Tracy, passionately intrigued arts, says hello to all. Ego amo te, mommy. It means I love you in Latin. Adios. If you don't like other people, let me speak some other language. Adios. Arrivederci. No, that's hello. Goodbye. Alayu. Sayonara. See you, everybody. Love you much. And goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Take care. And we'll end the stream